My dear viewers and students, you are all warmly welcome to our Vidyalakshmi YouTube channel. I am Mrs. Lata from Botany Department. So today we are going to see the first chapter in 12th standard Botany, that is the structure and types of ovule. So this part is very important. So they will ask so many questions from this part in the board examination. This is a very important portion. Shall we enter to the class now? So today we are going to see the female reproductive part of the flower and structure of the megasporangium and types of ovule. Okay, so what are the types in the ovule? Orthotropous, anatropous, hemianatropous, campylotropous, amphitropous and succinotropous. Okay. So what is the female reproductive part of the flower? The female reproductive part of the flower is a gynoecium, isn't it? It is a gynoecium. The word represents that gynoecium. The word gynoecium represents one or more pistil of a flower. Actually, the word gynoecium is referred to the pistil. Okay. So it is a one or more pistils are there. So the gynoecium arises from a small papillate outgrowth of meristematic regions. Okay, what is the meristematic tissues? The meristematic tissues are young and perpetual tissues. Okay, the cell division is continuously occur in the meristematic tissues. Okay, so actually the gynoecium is arised from the meristematic tissues. So where is the meristematic tissue? The meristematic tissues from the growing tip of the floral primordium. So what is the floral primordium? Primordium is nothing. That is small bud-like structure on the stem. Okay, so before the opening the flower, we can see the small bud-like structure. Okay, from the bud-like structure, the flowers are arised. So that is a floral primordium. Okay, so the pistil is derived from a carpel. Okay, so carpel, that is a number of carpels together to forming a gynoeciums. So what are the portions in the carpel? So we can see the three important regions in the carpel. So what are the three important regions? That is your ovary, style and stigma. Okay, so which is the ovary? There's a basal swollen part is known as the ovary. The basal irukkudiya the swollen part adha enna solrom ovary appdin solrom. Okay va? So inside the ovary we can see the ovules. Okay, so the ovules are located in the ovary cavity. Okay, what is the name of the cavity? So the cavity is called, that is a locule. The cavity ku enna peru? That is called a locule. The cavity is called, so this is a locule. Okay, so based on number of the carpels, we can see the number of ovules. Okay, the number of carpels corresponding to the, so number of locules are there. Okay, so next to the ovary, we can see the, say, elongated and slender portion is called, that is your style. Okay, the style is very important. So this is the pathway for entry of the pollen tube towards the microbe. That's the embryo sac. Okay, this is an important pathway for entry of the pollen tube, so to the embryo sac. Okay, and next the tip of the pistil, we can see that that's a very important portion. This is the stigma. Okay, the stigma serves as, that's a landing platform for the pollen grains. Okay, so during the pollinations, the pollen grains are shed on the stigma. Okay, here it is undergoing the germination to form a pollen tube. So the stigma is served as that is a landing platform for the pollen grains. Okay, the three regions are very essential in the pistil. So the carpel has a ovary, style and stigma. So carpel is nothing, that's a female reproductive organs. Okay, so the ovules are present inside the ovary. Inside the ovary cavity is called, that is a locule. Okay, so the ovules or megasporangia is arise from the placenta. So what is the placenta? Placenta is a type of tissues. Okay, there's a cushion-like parenchymatous tissues. So that is used to connect the ovule to the ovary. Actually, the seed is attached to the fruit with the help of the placenta. Okay, so based on the number of carpel, it is divided into monocarpellary, multicarpellary or tricarpellary or tetracarpellary. Okay, so it is it has only one ovule, that is known as one seed, one ovule, that is known as that's a monocarpellary in conditions. Okay, there's a paddy, wheat and mango. It has more seeds are there, more ovules are there, means that is your multicarpellary in conditions. We can see the multicarpellary conditions in the papaya, watermelon and orchids. Okay, that is so orchid plants also showing that characters, that is a multicarpellary characters. Okay. So now we are going to see the very important 5-mark questions in the in these portions. Okay, that's a structure of ovule. So one, they will ask the diagram, otherwise they will ask the notes and diagram. Both of them is very important. If you know to draw the diagram, you can explain very easily about the structure of ovule. Okay, so actually this is a structure of ovule. This is an inverted ovule. Okay, they completely turn the portions. That is a inverted ovule. Actually the ovule is like a straight ovules அப்படினா just இத நேரா வச்சு பாத்தீங்கன்னா அது வந்து straight ovule. Okay, that is a so orthotropous ovule அப்படினு சொல்லுவோம். So this is known as here, that is a inverted ovule. This ovule is called inverted ovule. So here we are going to see the parts of the ovule. So what are the parts in the ovule? First you have to draw the diagram and label the parts. Okay, so that's a one end of the ovule is known as a chalaza end, and another end is called, that is a micropylar end. Okay, so ஒரு end வந்து நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், chalaza end அப்படினு சொல்றோம். another end க்கு பேரு micropylar end. Okay, this is the basal part is a chalaza end, and this is a top region, that is a micropylar end. Okay, and next part is, that is your funiculus. Okay, funiculus is very important. The stalk of the ovule is called the funiculus. Okay, the funiculus is attached to the body of the ovule. That attachment, that point is known as a hilum. Okay, and next we have to see the two integuments are there. Okay, the ovule is covered by integuments. It may be a single integuments or two integuments. That's the integument. Okay, and next we have to see the nucellus. Okay, and inside the embryo sac we must label it, that is antipodal cells, central cells, okay, egg apparatus and everything. But essential parts is very immediately you have to label the parts. Okay, the parts are very important. So next we are going to see the one by one, the explanation of each and every parts. So what is the another name of ovule? So the ovule is called by another name, that is a megasporangium. Okay, so as a mature ovule we can see the two important regions. One is the body of the ovule and another one is a stalk of the ovule. Okay, so this is considered as a body of the ovule. This region is called, this is the body of the ovule, and this is called as a stalk of the ovule. Okay, or body region or stalk. Okay, so this is a mature ovule has a two important region. So one is the body of the ovule and another one is a stalk of the ovule. Okay, the stalk of the ovule is called, that is a funiculus. Okay, so what is the stalk of the ovule? That is a funicle, or that is called the funiculus. So this region is called, so that is a funiculus or funicle. Okay, so this is used to attach the ovule to the placenta. Okay, ovule வந்து placenta ஓட attached ஆகணும் அப்படினா இந்த funicles இருந்தாதான் அதை attach பண்ண முடியும். Okay, what is the function of the funicle? Which is attach the ovule to the placenta. Okay, so where the funicle is attached in the body of the ovule, that point of the attachment is called, that is a hilum. This region is called, that is a hilum regions. This is called hilum. Hilum means the point of attachment of the funicle to the body of the ovule. Okay, so next is very important part, that is a raphe. Okay, so what is the raphe? Actually in the inverted ovule we can see that, so that as a stalk of the ovule is adnate to the body of the ovules, or adnate means that is attached to the body of the ovules. அப்படியே அந்த body of the ovule ஓட ஒட்டி இருக்கும், அதோட stalk வந்து எப்படி இருக்கு, ஒட்டிட்டு இருக்கு. So that condition is called, that is a raphe. So we can see the small ridge like structure here, ridge அப்படிங்கிறது. So அதுக்கு மேல அது ஒட்டிக்கிட்டு இருந்த அந்த அடையாளம் தெரியும் இல்லையா, அந்த வடு அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா. So that is known as a raphe. Okay, so another very important term, raphe. So that's an inverted ovule. The funicle is adnate to the body of the ovule forming a ridge. So that is known as a raphe. So next one is very important portion, the center of the, so that's a ovule. The center of the ovule is made up of a parenchymatous cells. Okay, that region is called, that is a nucellus region. So the nucellus is supplying the food material to the developing embryo sac. Okay, the nucellus is totally covered by a integuments. Okay, and the nucellus is covered by the integuments. This is the integument. So what is the integument? The ovule is protective by covering is called integuments. It has a two integuments or it has a single integument. If it has a two integuments, that is known as a bitegmic in condition. Okay, if it has a single integument, that is a unitegmic in conditions. Okay, but it has a two integument in the inverted ovule is there. Okay, so that is your nucellus is not totally covered. Actually, the top of the ovule is so leaving a small space. Okay, the top of the ovule is not covered by a integument. They have to leaving a small space. This space is known as a micropyle. Okay, actually we can see the small pore-like structure in the ovule. So through the pore, the water is enter into the seed. So during the germinations, the water is enter into the seed. Then only they can germinate. Okay, and another one, it is used for the gaseous exchange. Okay, so water ulla போறதுக்கு யூஸ் ஆகுது, gaseous exchange-க்கு யூஸ் ஆகுது, and during the development of embryo sac, the roots are arised from these regions. This is a very, very important part of the ovule, that is a micropyle. Okay, so what is the micropyle? Actually, the nucellus is covered by, so it's an integument. Okay, the integument is leaving a small space in the top of the ovule. That region is considered as a micropyle regions. And what is the another part? We are going to see that there's a chalosa part. Okay, the nucellus enveloped by one or two protective covering is called integuments. The integument encloses the nucellus completely except at the top of the ovule. Okay, it has a small pore that is known as a micropyle region. And next we are going to see the chalosa region. So where is the chalosa? Actually, chalosa is a basal part of the ovule. Okay, the inverted ovule அப்படிங்கிறதுனால chalosa மேல இருக்குது. இல்லனா actually எங்க இருக்கும்? Basal regionல இருக்கும். Okay, this is a basal part of the ovule is called, that is a chalosa. In the chalosa portions, the three important parts are, that is merged to one another. Okay, என்னென்ன parts எல்லாம் chalosal regionல வந்து merge ஆகுது அப்படினு பார்த்தோம்னா, so here that is your integument. So one is the integument and another one is your nucellus and another one is your funiculus. Okay, so actually this is your funiculus is merged here and that is your nucellus are merged, another one is a integument. Okay, so that is your nucellus, integument and the funiculus. The both of them are submerged. Okay, the trees are merged in this particular region. So that region is considered as your nucellus. Okay, so considered as a chalosa region அப்படினு சொல்றோம். Yeah, இது வந்து nucellus, இது வந்து integument. Okay, another one is your funicle. So all the trees are merged in the particular region. Chalosa portionல தான் மூணு merge ஆகுது அப்படினு நம்ம சொல்றோம். Okay, so next we are going to see that in the center of the nucellus, we can see they are large, so that is your, so oval in shape and sac-like structure, that is the nucellus. Okay, and the nucellus is towards the micropylar end, it's not towards the chalosal. Nucellus வந்து எதை பார்த்து இருக்கு? That is your micropylar end நோக்கி தான் இருக்கு. So nucellus, that is your embryo sac is towards the micropylar end. So actually it has here a small, it's a large oval and sac-like structure that is known as the embryo sac. The embryo sac is towards the micropylar end. So the embryo sac consists of the 8 nuclei, that is 7-celled stage. Okay, so it develops as the functional megaspores. Actually, so the embryo sac is here, or female gametophyte is in the, so towards the micropylar end. Okay, so that's a develops from the functional megaspore. And the embryo sac எங்க இருந்து ஃபார்ம் ஆயிருக்கும் அப்படினா is a formed from the, or develops from a functional megaspores that's a formed within the nucellus. Okay, the functional megaspores are formed within the nucellus. Actually it has here, so the hypodermal cells are arised in the nucellus. இந்த நியூசெல்லஸ்க்குள்ள தான் ஒரு ஹைப்போடர்மல் செல்ஸ் ஃபார்ம் ஆகும். ஃப்ரம் த ஹைப்போடர்மல் செல்ஸ் த ஆர்கிஸ்போரியல் செல்ஸ் வந்து ஃபார்ம் ஆகுது. ஆர்கிஸ்போரியல் செல்ஸ் ஆர் அண்டர்கோயிங் த டிவிஷன் டு ஃபார்ம் அ பிரைமரி parietal layer, parietal cells, and another one is a primary sporogenous cells are formed. Okay, primary sporogenous cellsல இருந்து தான் that is a megaspore mother cell வந்து நமக்கு ஃபார்ம் ஆகும். Okay, so அப்ப இதல பாத்தீங்க அப்படினா the embryo sac towards the micropylar end is called the embryo sac. That embryo sac is formed from here, develops from here functional megaspore. Where is the functional megaspore? The functional megaspores are within the nucellus. Okay, so what is the endothelium or integumentary tapetum is very, very important 3-mark question. Okay, endothelium is that term is related to endothecium, isn't it? Actually that is when we have to pronounce, that is related to endothecium. So endothelium is a, so integument, actually there is a integument region. Endothecium is a anther wall. Okay, so next to the, so that is the epidermis, we can see the endothelium layer. Okay, in some species the inner layer of the integument may become specialized to perform the nutritive functions. Okay, or specialized functions vandu pannom. Usually the integument is protective in function, but here the integument is, that is, a perform nutritive functions for the embryo sac. Okay, they have to provide a nutrition to the developing embryo sac. That integument is known as a endothelium or integumentary tapetum. This is known as a endothelium, otherwise integumentary tapetum. It's very important question. So this is the picture of, that is the integument. Actually this is the endothelial embryos. Okay, so endothelium is a integument. Okay, they have to providing the nutrition to the developing embryos. Okay, so inga irukkudiya and outer and the inner integument vandu enna panudhu appadina, they have to providing nutrition to the developing embryo sac. ஓகேவா, ஸோ ஒரு இன்டகுமெண்ட்டாக ஒரு ப்ரொடெக்டிவ் கவரிங்காக இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு பகுதியில் இருந்து ஸோ அது என்ன ஃபுட்டை வந்து சப்ளை பண்ணுது. அதனால் அதுக்கு என்ன பேர் அப்படின்னா எண்டோதீலியம் ஆர் இன்டகுமெண்ட்ரி டேபிட்டம். So next, based on the number of integument in the ovule, it is classified in the unit technique, biotechnique and A technique. Okay, so what is the unit technique? The ovule with single integument is known as a unit technique in condition. So this condition we can see in the gymnosperm and gamopetalous angiosperms. Okay, angiosperm liye gamopetalous angiosperm la dhaan indha unit technique irukum அப்படிங்கறாங்க. So gamopetalous அப்படினா the petals are united. Okay, அப்ப petals united ஆ இருக்கக்கூடிய angiospermic, that's a flowering plants la we can see the unit technique integument. Okay, gymnosperm, angiosperm, it is a gamopetalous angiosperm families, that is a Compositae and Solanaceae. Okay, bitechnique, that is present in the polypetalous angiospermic families. Polypetally appadina petals are free from one another, that is not attached to one another. Okay ma, so next one is, that is here angiospermic families is a Cruciferae and Malvaceae. Okay, that is here polypetalous angiospermic families eduna Cruciferae and Malvaceae. Here we can see the two integuments, the ovules are enclosed by two integuments. Okay, and another one is a atechnic. So atechnic means, so that is here Loranthaceae and Santalaceae. Okay, atechnic is here Loranthaceae, Santalaceae. So without integument, that is known as here atechnic in conditions. Okay, the based on the positions of the sporogenous cells, okay, that is classified into tenuinucellate type, another one is a crassinucellate type. Tenuinucellate type, another one is a crassinucellate type. So tenuinucellate type, here the sporogenous cells is a hypodermal. Okay, sporogenous cells வந்து எங்க இருக்கும் அப்படினா hypodermal cells with a single layer of nucellar tissues. Okay, so what about in the crassinucellate? Here sporogenous cells in the subhypodermal layer. Okay, அது hypodermal layer இருக்கு, subhypodermal layer. It has a single layer but it has a many layers are there. Okay, so here there's a nucellus is here small in size. Here nucellus is here large nucellus. We can see the small nucellus and large nucellus. So based on that, that is a positions of the sporogenous cells, that is classified into tenuinucellate, another one is a crassinucellate. So we can see the diagram of tenuinucellate type. The tenuinucellate type, we can see that, so that is your hypodermal layer. So this layer is your hypodermal layer. Hypodermal layer, and this is your subhypodermal layer. This is subhypodermal layer. Okay, so here there is a single layer, that is a sporogenous cells in the hypodermal cells. Okay, sporogenous is with hypodermal layer, single layer is that, but here sporogenous with a subhypodermal layer. This is subhypodermal, this is not a hypodermal. கீழ இருக்கக்கூடிய செல்ல தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம் subhypodermal layer, but we can see the many layers are there. Okay, இங்க single layer தான் இருக்கும், இங்க many layers வந்து form ஆகுது. Okay, so here that is nucellus smaller in size, that nucellus are, that is here bigger in size. So the difference between the tenuinucellate and crassinucellate is very important, 3-mark question. So please you have to go through that. And based on the positions of the sporogenous cells, again which is divided into two, one is a hypostase, another one is a epistase. Okay, so what is the meaning of the hypostase? Okay, a group of cells are present in the a particular regions. Okay, and the group of cells வந்து எங்க இருக்கு அப்படினா, so found in the base of the ovule. What is the base of the ovule? That is here chalaza is the base of the ovule. This is here so base of the ovule. Okay, so chalaza, so that the group of the cells are present between the chalaza and that is your embryo sac. Okay, so between the embryo sac. Chalaza and between that embryo sac. Okay, the group of the cells are present between the chalaza and the embryo sac. That the cells are considered as a hypostase. Okay, so what about in the epistase? The epistase, the group of the cells are very thick walled. Here we can see the thin walled cells. Here we can see the thick walled cells. The thick walled cells are present just above the micropylar region. That is above the micropylar and between that embryo sac. Okay, so above the micropylar, between the embryo sac, we can see a group of cells. Okay, the group of cells are very thick walled cells. So that is known as a epistase. Okay, hypostase abdina group of cells between the chalaza and embryo sac la irukanum. Epistase means the group of cells is a very thick walled cells present between the micropylar end and above the embryo sac. Okay, so based on the position of sporogenous cells, that is classified into two. So next we are going to see the types of ovule. Okay, the first type is a orthotropous ovule or atropous ovule. So this is a primitive and simple type of ovule. Okay, so in this ovule the micropyle is a distal end. The micropyle வந்து எங்க இருக்கு அப்படினு பாத்தீங்கன்னா very distal. So it is away from that. There's a micropyle is away from, that's a distal end. So away from that is a chalaza and a funiculus. இதுல இருந்து தூரமா இருக்கிறதுனால micropyle distal end அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So here we can see that the funiculus, the funicle, chalaza and micropyle. Okay, that is a funicle, chalaza and micropyle. That is a straight vertical line. Okay, the straight vertical line we can see in the orthotropous ovule. This is otherwise called, that is a atropous ovule. Okay, so this example is a Piperaceae. Name of the family வந்து Piperaceae and Polygonaceae. So this is a orthotropous ovule. This is the primitive and simplest type of the ovule. And next we are going to see the anatropous ovule. So anatropous ovule is here. The body of the ovule is completely turned into 180-degree angle. Okay, this is a completely turned, this is an inverted ovule. தலைகீழ இருக்கிறதுனால இது என்ன சொல்றோம், inverted ovule. So in these conditions there is a micropyle and the funiculus. So the micropyle and the funiculus come to lie very close to each other. Okay, so where is the micropyle? So micropyle is in the lower region. This is the micropyle. And this is the funiculus. The micropyle and the funicles are, that is a close to each other. The both of them are close to each other. It's a near to each other. Okay, in these conditions. So this is a very common type of the ovule. Okay, so here the body of the ovule is a turn into 180-degree. The body of the ovule turn ஆயிருக்கலையா, so அது வந்து 180-degree. Here the hilum is located, that is a 90-degree. Hilum வந்து எப்படி இருக்குன்னா, that's a perpendicular இருக்கறதுனால that is a 90-degree. Okay, the turn of the hilum, the position of the hilum is the 90-degree. And next one is a hemianatropous ovule. Okay, the hemianatropous ovule, the body of the ovule is placed transversely and right angle to the funicle. Actually, so here the funicle is 90-degree in condition. The funicle வந்து எப்படி இருக்குன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, this is the funicle. So the funicle is a 90-degree to the micropyle and chalaza. Okay, micropyle chalaza வந்து எப்படி இருக்கு அப்படின்னா, this is at the 90-degree ல வந்து இருக்கு. Okay, so in this type there is a transversely and right angle to the funicle. Okay, so that is a transversely and right angle to the funicle. Funicle is a 90-degree. So of the, there's a towards that there's a micropyle and another one is a chalaza. So this type of ovule we can see in the Primulaceae and Ranunculaceae families. Okay, so the examples are very, very important. If they will ask these questions, you must draw the diagram and label the parts and give the examples. Okay, it's very, very important. Otherwise you will not get it full mark. And next one is the amphitropous ovule. Okay, amphitropous ovule, here the distance between the hilum and chalaza is a very, very less. Okay, so in the hilum and chalaza, what is the hilum? So that is your attachment, the point of attachment of the funicle to the body of the ovule is known as a hilum. Okay, so here that is your, so hilum and another one that is your chalaza. Yeah, so hilum and chalaza is very less, means the both of them is near to each other. This is a chalaza portion. Okay, this is a chalaza, this is your hilum. So hilum, this is a chalaza, the both of them is very close to each other. Okay, it has a very less distance over there. Okay, so here we can see that the body of the ovule is totally curved. Okay, so we can see the curvature of the ovule. Ovule வந்து எப்படி இருக்கு அப்படினா ஃபுல்லா வந்து so நல்ல curve மாதிரி வளைஞ்சு போய் இருக்கு. Okay, not only in the ovule, so as well as that embryo sac also curved. Okay, this embryo sac is also curved. The body of the ovule and nucellus. Okay, everything is like a curve. So curve மாதிரி இருக்குது. The curve is look like a horseshoe shape. Okay, horse ஓட shoe மாதிரி தெரியுது. அந்த ஷேப்ல வந்து இருக்குது. Okay, so this type of the ovule we can see in the Alisthmataceae and Rutaceae family. And last one, that is a Campylotropous ovule. The Campylotropous ovule, the body of the ovule, the micropylar end is curved. Okay, so here the micropylar end is curve-like structure. So micropylar end pathinga appadina, this is a curve-like structure. Okay, in the previously we studied, so that is a horseshoe shaped. So which one? The body of the ovule, and there's a nucellus and embryo sac. Everything is a curve-like structure that was look like that is a horseshoe shape. Okay, but here that is your body of the ovule towards the micropylar end, so that is your curve like structure. Okay, towards the micropylar end la mattum da curve irukku, that is a bean shape. Okay, and the curve is look like a bean shaped. So here the hilum, micropyle and chalaza adjacent to each other. This is the hilum region and this is a micropyle. Okay, so this is your micropyle and the hilum and the chalaza, that is வந்து adjacent to one another. Adjacent na எல்லாமே பக்கத்துல இருக்கு. Okay ma, so actually the micropyle oriented towards the placenta. Micropyle orientation, that's towards the placenta. Okay, placenta is here a special tissues, okay, which is used to connect the, so there's a ovule to the ovary. Okay, the example, there is a Leguminosae, the name of the species, that's a Leguminosae. We can see this type of ovule in the Leguminosae. And next one is your Succinotropous ovule. Okay, Succinotropous, here we can see the, it's a very long funicles. The funicle is very long. It's totally, that is your surrounds that is your ovule. The body of the ovule is surrounded by the funiculus. Okay, that is your Succinotropous ovule. So this type we can see in the Cactaceae. So example for the name of the species, Phylocactus, Opuntia, and the Plumpicanaceae and the Plumpago. Okay, that's your Plumpago அப்படிங்கிற ஸ்பீஷியஸ்ல இந்த Succinotropous ovules are there. Okay, so okay children, I hope you could understand this concept very easily. If you like this video, really if you like this video, please you have to subscribe it and share it and like it. So we will see in the next video. Thank you children.